Saturday morning, we kick off the Experts Program, and Luis Alvarez, CEO of the Alvarez Technology Group, is on the line with us. Good morning, Luis.
Good morning, Mark. How are you this week?
Doing pretty good. Here we are entering, I think, for me, week number 5 or 6 or something like that here at home.
Yeah.
I know you've been at it for a while, but it's just what they call the new normal. Anyway, we've got a couple interesting things to talk about on the program today. First thing, there's something interesting going on in social media. On Facebook, maybe you've seen this, where people are posting their old high school senior photos, right?
Yeah.
And dedicated to the class of 2020. And now we're starting to hear from IT security people that maybe it's not a good idea to share your old senior high school photo on Facebook. Why is that?
Well, primarily because bad guys are smart and they can do math. So when you put your high school picture up there and then put your graduation year, they can figure out, okay, well, now I have 2 of the elements that sometimes people ask for to prove identity. What year did you graduate high school? Mm-hmm. And where did you go to school? So it just becomes another tool for the bad guys to be able to get your social security number, to, file tax returns on your behalf, or even get a credit card. Because now so many of these systems use automated artificial intelligence information that's stored in databases to help you identify yourself. So the less the bad guys know about you, the better, I think.
Okay. So if somebody did feel like they still wanted to do that, I guess maybe they would just be circumspect about the year and say, well, this is from back in the 80s, but you don't put the high school you went to.
Yeah, exactly. And just say, hey, I graduated class of 2020. Congratulations. I graduated
a long time ago.
Yeah, look at my funny hair. You figure out the year.
All right. Now, on another IT security note, cyber attacks against hospitals are significantly increasing right now.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's becoming, unfortunately, I don't want to use the word, but an epidemic because the cyber criminals know that right now hospitals are so overwhelmed with taking care of patients or potentially taking care of patients that they're more susceptible to things like phishing attacks, that is clicking on emails that they might get that purport to be from the CDC or some other official place, or even getting a phone call from somebody that claims to be from the Department of Homeland Security and saying, hey, I need you to confirm some things for me, because they're getting those calls all the time. Mm-hmm. And so they're just taking it for granted that this is a legit thing. And that happens during a crisis. We let our guard down because we think there's so much other stuff that we have to do. We just don't have time to verify the identity of the people that we're talking to on the phone or getting emails from. But this is a time when you have to double down and actually do even more work to try to prevent that from happening.
There's something brand new that you're working on called Fast Sensor, tracking social distancing and getting back to business safely, responsibly, and quickly. Talk about this. This is something brand new.
Yes. One of the things that we've been doing during the downtime, if you will, we're still plenty busy, but we also recognize that there's an opportunity here to try to help our community get back to work sooner rather than later. And we've been brainstorming on ways that we can develop technology solutions to the problems that we face. And the 2 biggest ones are social distancing within a facility, within a restaurant, if you will, or even the aquarium or someplace like that. And how do you, in a post-COVID-19 world, how do you ensure that social distancing is enforced? Because that's going to be the norm for us for the next couple of years, if not longer.
Right.
We develop a vaccine. So we worked with some of our vendors and came up with a solution that we call the Advanced Detection or Active Detection Alerting Monitor that basically...
ADAM.
ADAM.
It's called ADAM, Active Distance Alert and Monitoring.
Yeah. And so the idea behind it is that we put these sensors within any space and use artificial intelligence and the ability of these sensors to detect where people are at, where they're going, how far they're moving, if they're stopping, if they're getting too close to each other, so that you can give the restaurant manager or the hostess or some concierge the ability to stand up and say, excuse me, can you guys split up a little bit? We're enforcing social distancing here. Okay. And it becomes less intrusive than, walking around with a cane and hitting people because they get too close together. So we think ADAM is a technology that is affordable and easy to deploy and very manageable that would allow, once we're allowed to go back into restaurants and go into stores, would allow us to enforce social distancing, but in a way that isn't too draconian.
And how does somebody get involved in this program if they want to add this to their business and to their employees?
They just need to contact us, and we would be happy to do an analysis for them and figure out how best to get this deployed. And we're working with a lot of people right now that are very anxious to take advantage of their downtime to get this installed. It does take some work to get the sensors installed and configured correctly within the location, but once it's set up and running, it's really, really good way to make sure that social distancing is observed in your facility, whether it's a store, a restaurant, a manufacturing facility. It doesn't really matter. We can help you out.
And I think I see what looks like a prototype of this. It looks like a mini light bar, like what you'd have on a police cruiser. And if anybody gets within 72 inches of you, the lights and the sirens go off. That's how it works, right?
Exactly.
Okay,
yeah,
perfect.
And whoever is responsible for enforcing social distancing will get an alert on their smartphone so that they can figure out how to politely tell the people to split up. And this is important. I can see this in a place like a restaurant that's already going to be setting up tables in a way to enforce social distancing, but they'll want to prevent people from getting up and walking over and, congregating at a corner or congregating at a table and being able to do it in a respectful manner that doesn't ruin the evening for them.
Sure.
And so this is, we think, a great technology that has a lot of application across all of our businesses.
All right. So if you're interested in finding out about ADAM, that's Active Distance Alert and Monitoring for your business, just give Luis Alvarez or the I-Team a call. You can contact them at the Alvarez Technology Group. It's alvareztg.com. At AlvarezTG is the Twitter handle. And Luis, the toll-free number.
Give us a call at 866-78-I-Team. That's 866-784-8326.